Hi, Karen Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. I took notes today because there's a lot going on and I want to make sure that we cover everything so that you can get the most out of your amazing week. So we start the week with the Sun in the 14 and the Earth in the 8, giving us the opportunity to explore ways in which we create resources that ultimately support our fulfilling of our life purpose and making the contribution of who we are to the world. And I really want to just drive home a very important point. We talk a lot about life purpose and your contribution to the world, and we think it's something that we have to do. Like, oh, I have to get this job that is my life purpose, or I have this mission that is something I have to complete as part of my life purpose. There are some of you who will have work that will be aligned with your life purpose, and when you do both together, you will be fulfilling your purpose. But for all of us, your life purpose is to live the highest expression of the truth of who you are. So when you can embrace for yourself the understanding that you crafting the story of who you are in its highest expression, that is your genuine and true life purpose. And when you can live that with ease and peace and trust that the artful expression of who you are is your contribution to the world, is the fulfillment of your purpose, I hope it gets you off that treadmill of thinking there's something you have to do to be on purpose. You're breathing, so you're on purpose. Your challenge is to follow your soul curriculum and to align yourself with the full expression of the true story of who you are, which is part of what we're exploring. And when we look at the chart in the context of support, what we see in the chart is that when we are living in a way that is the full alignment of the truth of who we are, then we also create alignment with our power and alignment with our abundance. You are not designed to suffer. There is no suffering gate in the chart. You are also not designed to be broke or broken in any way. And that those experiences of brokenness or even suffering are really pushing off points for us to get clarity about who we are and what we're really worthy of. And certainly I would invite you to explore over the next few weeks during this Mercury retrograde cycle and in conjunction with some of the other planets, the patterns and the habits that you have that are either keeping you small or supporting you in expanding in the truth of the story of who you are. I want to invite you to explore for yourself the focus that you have in your life. This week is a great week to think about focus, because really when we think about gratitude, and in America this week we're doing Thanksgiving, where the theme is gratefulness, right? We are expressing the gratefulness for all that we have. Gratitude is simply focus with heart. And the reality of gratitude is, you can get into the light and fluffy gratitude stuff if you want, but when you really think about the power of gratitude as part of our creative essence, it is from noticing with heart or focusing with heart that we continue to create a perspective that drops into our reality things that match that perspective. In other words, your perspective creates. What you see creates. How you see creates. And if you are looking at the world with eyes that say, I have a unique and irreplaceable place in the cosmic plan and I am that precious. And when you look at the world with that perspective, then what you begin to drop into your reality matches that perspective. And it fully activates then your power and your abundance. If you're looking at the world with eyes that say, I'm not really supported, nobody really gets me, I don't really know what my purpose is here, I'm all alone, whatever story you might be saying, and I'm not poo-pooing those stories. Those stories feel real, and those stories are oftentimes anchored in deeply painful experiences. And so, and please know, I'm not making light of your story if you are carrying a painful story. I'm just inviting you this week to shift your perspective. Not even a lot, just a little, to take a little bit of a view more to the right or to the left and see if just shifting that perspective a little bit begins to allow you to see that maybe you are more supported than you realize. Maybe you have access to more power than you thought. Maybe there is more to the purpose of who you are and your unique place in the cosmos than you realized, and that maybe seeing that purpose hopefully can drop you into a perspective of really recognizing and owning the preciousness that is you, and begin to construct for yourself a reality that reflects back to you the preciousness that you are. We move towards the end of the week from the 14 to the sun in the 34, which is power, which is in part and parcel going to be reflected in the movement of this Mercury retrograde cycle. Once we explore our patterns and habits and our focus, we then activate with Mercury our power. The sun this week also activates our power. And what we see again in human design, which I find so fascinating, is that where power shows up in the chart, it's never something that you seize. It's never something that you roll over somebody else for, or that you have to take. Its power comes from responding to opportunities in the world. And that when you are aligned with who you are, your energy field, your aura, conveys that that alignment is the source of your power. And when you operate from a place of alignment, people will naturally see the power of who you are. Frankly, I don't think there's anything more compelling in a human being than a human being who knows who they are, who recognizes their place in the cosmos, who actively creates a life that is the reflection of the truth of who they are, and stands in that place with value and with the acknowledgement of the preciousness of that unique role. When you are holding that energy, you are flippin' powerful. And part of why you're so powerful when you hold that energy is because everybody wants that. We all really, underneath everything, we just want to be who we are. We want to feel free to express the truth of who we are. And that ability to live in alignment with that expression, that self-expression, is the source of our power. It's not money. It's not who you know. It's not your education. It's not any of that. It's not what book you wrote. It's not what stage you speak on. It's none of that. It's you being who you are. And the planets right now are really pushing us. I think they're preparing us for 2019, where the big question that we're going to explore all next year is, who am I? What's my story? Is it a good story? Does the story suck? Okay, if the story sucks, I'm going to rewrite it. That's what we're working with next year, because we're setting ourselves up for some big changes in 2020. And right now we got to get to work making sure that the stories we tell about who we are individually and who we are collectively, the beliefs we hold, the truths we hold, what we're creating collectively, those all need to match up with a really lovely outcome. Okay. So Mercury, as I said, is continuing to invite us into this exploration of power and money based on focus and habits. And by the way, money in the human design is also an energy that you don't just take. You can't just take money. Money gets created when we're in alignment with integrity. Money is created sustainably, let me just say, when we are in alignment with integrity. And integrity means not just moral integrity, but in alignment, structural integrity, right? In alignment with the plan, the story of who you are. Money gets created, and from that money, we have access to resources that help us increase our influence. But again, you can't buy that. You have to be that first, okay? Venus goes into the 32, which gives us the energy to endure until the timing is right, which is the other aspect of money and power. You can't have money and power if you're not in alignment, and you can't create money and power when the timing's not right. And that's the piece that oftentimes we really tend to push against, especially in business. We think, oh, I have this great idea, I'm gonna go out and make it happen. And when you're not aligning with divine timing, because divine timing energy is actually adrenaline energy, we oftentimes end up pushing against our own adrenaline energy, trying to force right timing, and then we burn ourselves out. And when the right timing shows up, then we're too tired to take the opportunity. So you're being invited this week to explore what's necessary for you to endure in the manifestation of your dreams. And part of that is you got to take care of yourself. You got to nurture the dream. And part of nurturing that dream is also nurturing yourself so that you can serve that dream when the time is right for you to make it happen. Mars is in the 55, the gate of faith, which is also the gate of abundance. And what Mars is teaching us this week is that when we know that the emotional frequency that we hold around our dreams, and those dreams are not just about the things you want to create, but the dreams that you might have about really living a life that is the full expression of who you are. Really, that's the root of all of our dreams, if you think about it, right? The things you're dreaming of are the things that are going to be a reflection of the true story of who you are. Think about, what do you want? Think about, what do you want? What do you want? What you want is to be the full expression of yourself. You want to be free to do what you want to do, right? And whether that is going to Tahiti or Morocco, or having a tiny house, or having a best-selling book, or speaking on stage, or having children and a family and a soulmate, whatever that is for you, that dream that you have, that's an aspect of the full expression of who you truly are. And not only do you deserve to have that, the world wants you, the universe wants you to get that, because when you're in that fulfillment, you're fulfilling the full expression of who you are, and you're occupying your right place in the cosmos. So when we have this Mars energy in the 55, we're being invited to explore, what emotional energy am I carrying around my dreams? When I think about my dream, am I like, woo, yeah, I can't wait, it's so exciting? And are you holding that energy of positive and powerful expectation on an emotional level? Or do you drop into, oh my God, that's never going to happen, and wow, I wish, but no, and well, that's a nice dream, but what emotional energy are you holding around your dreams? Because your emotional energy is really what's going to create that dream into form, because your emotional energy calibrates your heart. When you're aligned with the dream and you're holding an energy that supports its manifestation, it brings your heart into coherence. It creates alignment between mind, body, and spirit. It actually calibrates the electromagnetic resonance field of the heart in a direction that supports you in seeing the evidence that the dream is already coming true and attracting opportunities and experiences that match that dream into your reality. So pay attention this week to the energy that you hold around your dreams. And again, recognize that focusing with heart, gratitude, calibrates your emotional energy. In fact, there's a lot of research that shows that when you approach your perspective with gratitude, you not only decrease your cortisol and increase your dopamine and serotonin, and your emotional frequency goes up, and your electromagnetic resonance field of your heart expands in a really positive and powerful way. You also decrease the appearance of wrinkles in your face. There's a bonus, right? And you experience less stress, and you're healthier. Your immune response goes up. So think happy thoughts and be grateful, even if you feel like you're forcing it in the beginning. And sometimes we get into spaces, we all get into spaces where we're like, meh, I don't want to be grateful for anything. My life sucks. Try to find one thing, and then see if you can find one thing, if you can find another thing, and another thing, and another thing, because that's what creates in your life. That's what brings you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose and the manifestation of your dreams, which is what I want for you. I want to explore for one more minute the relationship between Saturn and Jupiter, which is a dance that's been going on for a while. When Saturn shows, whatever we carry in Saturn is where we have challenges. When we master those challenges, we receive the rewards of our Jupiter position. Saturn right now is in the 58, the gate of joy, which means we are being challenged in the arena of joy. And many of us might feel like, oh, I've lost the joy of life. And it's certainly, if you've been reading the news and going out in the world and maybe overindulging in some of the divisive energy that's been out there, maybe you've lost a little bit of connection with your joy. When we lose our joy based on what's in Saturn and Jupiter right now, we also lose our connection to our power. So as counterintuitive as it may seem, because sometimes we have to take things so seriously if we're going to change things, what I'm going to invite you to do this week is to explore how can you deepen the expression of joy in your life. Where are you already experiencing joy, and how can you deepen that? And to understand that from that experience of deepening that joy, you actually increase your access to power, and that you become more powerful to create more joy in your life, and to ultimately lift the baseline frequency of not only the level of abundance in your own life, but in the world around you. Think about this for a minute, and this is the thought I want to leave you with this week. Sometimes when you look at apocalyptic movies or post-apocalyptic dramas out there, you know, watch what Hollywood puts out. There's all these like super dark movies of people living in rubble and fighting it out in bizarre, you know, radiation-filled mutative ways, right? What if the way we live right now is setting a baseline tone for what's possible for humanity? We are calibrating the thermostat of abundance in the world. And that the more we create this set point on the global thermostat for what abundance is, the more we move towards our joy, the more we move towards the fulfillment of the manifestation of our dreams and our abundance. What if when we're doing that, we're setting a baseline frequency, and that we can all experience this baseline frequency when we know how to create correctly, and that the post-apocalyptic world can be, instead of apocalyptic, can be instead the creation of a new world where everyone has enough, where it's equitable and no one gets cut out for any reason, and it's sustainable. Because frankly, I think we're creative enough to figure out how to make this work. We sent people to the moon. We've got all kinds of things orbiting in the cosmos that are taking cool pictures of interspace. We have artificial hearts. We can help people who can't have children have babies in test tubes. We have the ability to make fake meat out of beef cells, which I think is kind of gross, but there are people now who are making fake meat, are able to grow meat in a lab. The possibilities of what we could potentially create on this planet that supports the fulfillment of an equitable, sustainable quality of peace and abundance in this world, the evidence is there that we're already moving in that direction. So let's stop thinking about apocalypse and start thinking about creating a world that's so amazing that we will easily and effortlessly move into experiencing that world without having to blow up the whole world then getting in the name of getting there. Okay? So bottom line, you're more powerful when you're aligned. You're aligned when you connect with your unique place, your irreplaceable place in the cosmos. You're more aligned when you recognize how precious you are. You're more aligned when you understand that you being you is the gift that you're here to give the world. That is your life purpose. You're more aligned when you are holding an energy of positive expectation and support, and you can cultivate that energy by focusing on gratitude, noticing what's going right in your life, noticing the world with heart. On that note, I just want to say and thank you for sharing the planet with all of you at this really, really exciting time. I'm looking forward to building a world of equitable, sustainable peace with you. I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous week, and I will talk to you next week.